Leeds faithful, White's army, are you sitting down? Because what I'm about to tell you will make you jump out of your chair and scream, "We're back!" at the top of your lungs. Listen up, because your beloved Leeds United isn't just returning to the Premier League, they're coming back with vengeance. Daniel Farke and the 49ers aren't messing around this time. While other promoted teams are playing it safe, scared of another relegation disaster, our Leeds is going all in. I've got 3 absolutely mental transfer stories that are going to blow your mind. We're talking about a striker who was once valued at over £100 million and is now available, a Portuguese wizard who belongs at an elite club and is being hunted by everyone, and an Argentine gem that Leicester City fans are begging to keep. But here's the crazy part. All 3 stories are connected, and they paint a picture of Leeds United that will make Manchester City shake in their boots. We're not just trying to survive in the Premier League, White's army. We're planning to dominate it. Smash that like button if you're ready for this roller coaster. Comment below with your predictions, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This channel is where the Leeds faithful get their transfer news first. But before we dive into this madness, let me ask you something that's going to keep you watching until the very end. What if I told you that one of these signings could be the difference between Leeds staying up and Leeds challenging for Europe? Let's start with the bombshell that has Brighton fans crying and Leeds fans dreaming. Ladies and gentlemen of the White's army, let me introduce you to Evan Ferguson, the Irish striker who was once the hottest property in European football. Remember when Brighton slapped £120 million price tag on this kid just 2 years ago? Tottenham were circling like vultures. Every big club in Europe had scouts watching his every move, and Ferguson was being compared to Harry Kane himself. This is a player who burst onto the Premier League scene like a tornado, scoring goals for fun and making defenders look like Sunday League players. But then disaster struck. Injuries, a horrific loan spell at West Ham, and let's face it, West Ham ruins everyone. And suddenly the golden boy became yesterday's news. Brighton are desperate to get him game time, and guess what? Leeds United are at the front of the queue. Think about this for a second. Leeds faithful, we could be getting a striker who was valued at over £100 million for the price of a loan. This isn't just any striker, this is a player who outperformed his expected goals every season at Brighton. Even during his goal drought, scouts know the talent is still there, burning underneath. Ferguson at 6'2" doesn't just score goals, he bullies centre-backs. His hold-up play is phenomenal, his finishing is clinical, and most importantly, he's got that hunger to prove everyone wrong. And you know what Leeds United loves more than anything? Players with a point to prove. Daniel Farke knows that surviving in the Premier League isn't about playing pretty football, it's about scoring goals when it matters. And Ferguson, even at 20 years old, has already proven he can handle the pressure of carrying Ireland's hopes on his shoulders. Imagine what he could do with the passionate White's army behind him at Elland Road. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is going to make your blood boil. Celtic and Everton are also sniffing around. Celtic can offer Champions League football, and Everton have David Moyes, who has a magical touch with strikers. But Leeds can offer something neither of them can. Guaranteed game time and the chance to be the hero of one of England's most passionate fan bases. The question isn't whether Ferguson can succeed at Leeds, it's whether Leeds can beat off this fierce competition. And that brings me to our second bombshell, because Farke isn't just hunting for one star. But wait, White's army, because Ferguson is just the beginning. While you're still processing that potential signing, let me hit you with another curveball that's going to make you believe we're building something special. Meet Matheus Fernandes, the 20-year-old Portuguese midfielder who was Southampton's only bright light in their relegation disaster. While Southampton were collecting an embarrassing 12 points from 38 games, this kid was putting on masterclasses week after week, showing why he belongs at an elite club. Here's what's going to make you angry. Southampton want $30 million for him, but they're actually looking for a much higher figure. Can you believe the audacity? A relegated team trying to price out their best player because they know what a gem they have. But here's the beautiful irony, Leeds faithful, their relegation has weakened their negotiating position. They need to sell, and Leeds United are ready to pounce with the backing of the 49ers. Fernandes isn't just any midfielder, this is a player who played 36 Premier League games in his first season in England and managed 2 goals and 4 assists while playing for the worst team in the division. Imagine what he could do surrounded by quality players at Leeds. The kid is currently tearing it up at the European Championships with Portugal's under-21s, showing scouts from across Europe exactly why Southampton are desperate to keep him. But here's the thing, Leeds can offer him something Southampton never could, a team with ambition. Think about it logically. Fernandes spent a season watching his teammates crumble under Premier League pressure. He knows what it takes to survive at this level, and more importantly, he knows what happens when you don't have the right mentality. At Leeds, surrounded by players who fought their way back to the top, he'd be joining a team with something to prove. This signing would send a message to the entire Premier League. Leeds United aren't just happy to be back, they're here to make noise. A 20-year-old with Premier League experience, international recognition, and the hunger to prove he belongs at the highest level, that's exactly the type of player who could turn Leeds from survival candidates into surprise package of the season. But if you think 2 potential game changers is impressive, wait until you hear about the third player who could complete this incredible transformation. White's Army, I hope you're ready for this, because what I'm about to tell you will make you believe that Leeds United are about to pull off the transfer window of the century. While everyone's been focusing on Ferguson and Fernandes, Daniel Farke has been quietly working on a deal that could be the most important of all. Say hello to Facundo Buonanotte, the Argentine wonder kid who's been tearing up the Premier League on loan at Leicester City. Brighton owns this kid, and they're asking for £25 million plus £10 million in variables. But here's why this signing is absolutely genius. Buonanotte has already proven he can perform in the Premier League. While Ferguson was struggling at West Ham and Fernandes was fighting relegation with Southampton, this Argentine magician was quietly showing Leicester fans what magic looks like. Leicester City fans are begging their club to make his loan permanent, and you know why? Because in a single season, this kid has shown he has everything: pace, skill, vision, and most importantly, the mentality to succeed in English football. Now imagine this, Leeds faithful, imagine Fernandes controlling the midfield with his Portuguese flair, feeding perfect passes to Buonanotte, who's dancing past defenders with Argentine magic, while Ferguson is terrorizing centre-backs with his physical presence and clinical finishing. This isn't just a transfer window, this is the creation of a super team. The 49ers aren't messing around. They've seen what happened to the last 6 promoted teams, and they're determined to break that cycle. Spending big on young, hungry players who've already proven themselves at this level, that's not just smart business, that's a statement. But here's what makes this even more incredible. All 3 players are under 21. Leeds aren't just building for this season, they're building a dynasty that could dominate English football for the next decade. Ferguson bringing that Harry Kane-style presence, Fernandes providing the Portuguese technical brilliance, and Buonanotte adding that South American flair that makes defenders have nightmares. This is the kind of combination that turns good teams into great teams. Leeds faithful, White's Army, take a moment to let this sink in. While other clubs are making safe, boring signings, your Leeds United is about to announce itself back to the Premier League with the most exciting transfer window in recent memory. This isn't just about survival anymore. This is about making a statement that Leeds United belongs among the elite of English football. Ferguson, Fernandes, and Buonanotte aren't just players, they're the foundation of something special that's being built at Elland Road. Smash that like button if you're as excited as I am. Comment below and tell me which of these 3 signings excites you the most, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because when these deals start getting confirmed, you're going to want to be the first to know. But here's my final question for you, the one that's going to keep you thinking long after this video ends. If Leeds can pull off all 3 of these signings, are we looking at the most successful promoted team in Premier League history? The revolution starts now, Leeds faithful. Are you ready to march? We are Leeds, we are back, and we're coming for everyone.